Namaste, and welcome to Awaken Living with Nibodhi. Before we jump into today's subject, I just want to remind everyone that if you like this episode, please like it, subscribe, share it with those who you love, and feel free to leave your comments and share your experience and your wisdom, because it's a conversation and we grow one conversation at a time. Today we're discussing challenges and how challenges can be a gateway, a portal for us to grow, to gain self-knowledge, and to transform. And basically, our challenges, to use them in a way that's growthful, we need to have a shift in perspective. Basically, a shift in perspective that can transform how we experience challenges, conflict, and any kind of discomfort we experience in our daily life. And this is actually really a simple concept and can be highly transformative if we use it well. When we're challenged, if we can see it as an opportunity from the universe, from our higher self, to get to know ourselves more fully, more completely, and to grow into our highest self. This is the best way to look at challenges, because everyone is challenged and we can meet them with presence and awareness, or we can collapse under them. On the surface, most of us accept that life comes with challenges, right? And it's through the practices that the ancient rishis have given us, through our spiritual practices, through self-reflection, journaling, through breathwork, somatics. All the self-work that we do help us to develop equanimity. And Ayurveda helps us to do this through the balance of the doshas, through the balance of the gunas of the mind. And it's through that steadiness of mind, that sattvic quality, that we can witness them as a lesson that we need to learn. And when we learn to stay grounded through challenges, especially when our plans change, because our plans are always changing, and the universe has a very different plan than we do. There's a saying, you want to make the universe laugh, make a plan. Tell it your plans. So when things don't go our way, when life brings us unexpected things, and we should basically learn to accept the unexpected, how do we meet those things? And that's up to us, how we meet them. We can meet them with consciousness and awareness, or again, we can collapse under that pressure. And sometimes there's deeper layers to those challenges. And this is where most of us struggle, me especially. And that's when we're challenged by another person. When someone is questioning our beliefs, or disagrees with our perspective, or even offers us a conflicting view. Something happens internally that's different than how we would meet a challenge on our own. Suddenly it's no longer just this external event that we expect the unexpected from. It feels very personal, because what Vedic psychology, what yoga Ayurveda calls the ahamkara, this sense of I, this ego we've been talking about throughout many podcasts, it's the separate self, and it attaches itself to the thoughts and beliefs and opinions, and that they're ours. We don't just have beliefs or thoughts or opinions, we become them. We think that that's who we are. And so when those are challenged, it feels though we're being challenged, and that's very confronting. And when that happens, often, if we're not regulated, the nervous system reacts. And from the three doshas, vata often reacts with like anxiety or avoidance, where a pitta is going to become defensive, argumentative, and even angry, and their voices get very loud. Whereas the kapha may get sad or shut down or withdraw. In any case, whatever dosha we are, we end up trying to defend, dominate, or disengage from that interaction. And so in that moment, that's when we need to learn to pause and have an internal reframe of what's actually happening. If we can do that, we can then see that challenge instead of it being a threat to who we are. We see it as a mirror. It's a reflection of something we need to look at because it's being presented to us. So that's the universe saying, hey, look at this thing. Because in Ayurveda and yoga and most even New Age philosophies, we believe that the universe is happening for us, not to us, and that everything is an opportunity to observe. And from an Ayurvedic perspective, we can observe our Prakriti and Vikruti. Our Prakriti is our inherent nature, and the Vikruti is what is currently coming up. And same thing, like in the Vedic, Ayurvedic tradition, yoga tradition, it's called a samskara. And if we're reacting, it's actually showing us our samskara. Those are the deep impressions within the mind. And it's showing us that samskara, that deep impression, that may need to be looked at. So when someone challenges us, it should be seen more than just a conversation. It should be seen as an internal conversation, as something to look at within ourselves. It's a conversation we need to have, an self-examination, that self-inquiry, that atmavicharya. It needs to look at where we're attached or where we're conditioned, because that's what the samskaras are. They're deep-seated conditions that may come from this life, or we may have brought them with us. And even looking at what we believe to be our identity. Because if we have an identity that believes it's separate, then that's where we suffer. So if we can stop reacting and start responding and start observing, we can really look at, in those situations, why we may feel defensive in that situation, or why we feel that we need to be right, or that our perspective is more right than someone else's perspective, and what we're defending, what belief are we trying to defend. And when we can do that, we can actually make real shift. It's in that space where shift happens, and that really happens through breath. We need to have some kind of conscious awareness of our breath, a little bit of a mastery over our breath. And so when we're challenged, we can slow down, take long, slow, deep breaths, breathe into the belly, breathe into the heart, and just pause and inquire and allow us to move away from the need to defend, the need to protect, the need to be right. Because we're not trying to win, we're just trying to play. The whole universe is a play. It's a cosmic play. So we just want to play the game. It's not to win or lose. No one wins or lose. We actually do lose when we defend, when we protect, when we need to be right. And when we're open to that, when we're trying to understand the other person, we all win. That's what St. Francis said. Let me not seek to be understood, but to understand. Let me not seek to be loved as to love. We want to understand. It's an understanding that we have comprehension of the universe and ourselves. And when we can do that, that will transform the conflicts into a conscious dialogue where it's just two aspects of self interacting in a dance, in a play. And again, looking at it from the Vedic psychology, from the yogic and Ayurvedic perspective, we can see conversation as a form of sadhana, as a form of tapas, that inner heat that transforms, burns, cooks the impurities. It's not to burn us, it's to refine us. It's to take something raw and cook it so it's edible. Life becomes edible. And this way, the conflict, the challenge, is a catalyst for our growth. It doesn't need to be defended. It doesn't need to be avoided. A person doesn't need to be defeated, and a person doesn't need to be avoided. We just need to communicate in a conscious way. But we have to be regulated in ourselves. We can see the other person as someone, as God, as the guru, who is helping us to reveal where we're still stuck. We don't need to abandon our perspective to do that, and we don't need to adopt theirs. It's just a conversation. It's not about surrendering our truth. It's about refining our relationship to it. When we're no longer defending, the world becomes available to us. The universe becomes available to us. We become clear. Clarity becomes available to us. And we no longer speak from reaction. We respond. Responsibility, the ability to respond. And that comes from a place of understanding ourselves, first and foremost. We can't understand someone else if we're not understanding ourselves. And sometimes in the process of articulating our thoughts, we may have revelation. We may discover something that we haven't understood before, something that we hadn't seen before, a new way of seeing life. It's a curiosity, just being curious. Curiosity is such a beautiful way to move through life. Then we see the beauty in everything. And real harmony comes, real neutrality comes when we see all perspectives, without judgment, without criticism, without being right or wrong. There's wisdom in that. And just as importantly, we may also discover any kind of things that we held to so tightly that are ready to be released. That's ultimately the beginning of inner freedom. That's the movement into a sattvic state of mind, which is clarity, which is the lightness of being. It's the truth. Not my truth, it's the truth. The mind becomes less attached or less entangled in the I am this thing, I am that thing, I am my beliefs experience. And it becomes more identified with the observer of those beliefs, those thoughts. Thoughts are going to be there. Beliefs are going to be there. Opinions are going to be there. Experiences are going to be there. What's always there also is us, the awareness. As we've moved through the stages of life, we're always there. The body changes. What we know now, we didn't know then. We thought we knew everything when we were 16. At least I did. And then I thought I knew everything at 21, and then 35, and then 40. And as I go on, I'm really starting to learn that I don't know that much. And that when we accept that we don't actually know, then we become curious and we become open to experience. So I would encourage it, if you become challenged, and you will be, first and foremost, pause and breathe. Take several deep breaths into your body. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into your root chakra. Breathe into your heart. And try as much as possible to shift your awareness, shift your intention from defense to curiosity, to discovering what's possible. And leave room for a conversation. Let any conversation you have, whether it's with yourself or with a plant or a human, let it be exploration. Explore space. Space explorers. Boldly go where no one has ever gone before, or at least boldly go where you've never gone before. Explore your inner space and the outer space. In Vedic traditions, there was a rishi, Ramana Maharshi, who did Atma Vicharya, self-inquiry. Who are you? Who am I? That's the question. Who am I? Beyond my roles, beyond my thoughts, beliefs, beyond this form, beyond whatever it is that you think you know. And if we can really meet life from that place, every interaction becomes part of our awakening. So next time you're challenged, breathe and be curious. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being open. And if this is challenging for you, I do invite you to look at that a little bit deeper. So until next week, stay present, breathe, stay curious, and fill your hearts with love and express it in everything you do. Before you go, if you've been curious about Ayurveda and want to actually understand your body and start applying it into your daily life, I built the complete Ayurveda course for exactly that. It contains more than 30 years of education and practice distilled into 50 lessons, with over 10 hours of content, guided meditations, personalized assessments, and so much more. It's designed so you'll feel real shifts as you go through it. You'll experience more energy, better digestion, increased mental clarity, and a deeper sense of balance. Lesson by lesson, it's all there. So go to Nibodhi.com/courses to learn more.